We are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Blake Ruffino. And we have a co-host, Mike Jones, who is our guest today in an exclusive interview with our good friend Mike Jones, starting LSU linebacker. Michael, what's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. Just got back from workouts, feeling good, ready to practice tomorrow.
You see, I had to use your biblical name because the way that I heard you've been baptizing dudes out on the football field, it's your biblical name, right? So, but good. Ready for practice tomorrow, just coming from a workout. We have a lot that we'll get into in this interview, but just off the top, before we kind of get going, how are you feeling currently? You feeling good?
Physically or mentally?
Both, as Tyler Perry said in that, both with an F, not T-A, F, both.
Both of them. I'm feeling good. Mentally, good. I'm sharp, trying to get better every day. Physically, I'm feeling like a fifth year. I can't just bounce back like I do. It takes some time in the training room for me to get ready every day.
Okay, I know how that feels. Believe me. I wake up. I'm 32. I wake up in the morning like, God damn, my knees, my back. Like all that stuff. But Mike, that's awesome. I know how you feel. Believe me. So let's do this. I got some video for you. Some of your coaches spoke very highly of you this week, saying some good things about you. So what does it mean to be an LSU leader? We'll talk on that right after this break. Mike, let's get to our good friends over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, the drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Guys, go follow them, 985-386-7600. We'll be back right after this break, and then we'll get into it. Mike, I'm telling you, it's going to give me chills. I don't know about you, but we'll play that video right after this break. By the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vignair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino with AYS sent you on by. Mike, I got to ask you, I was thinking about this during the break. So for me, after a workout, especially college, I had a routine, okay? This is just, look, I'm fat, I'm an old lineman, but I just did it. I had a pack of peanut M&Ms, okay, and I had a muscle milk. Now, the reason I had the peanut M&Ms is because it didn't have a lot of fats, but it had, obviously with the nuts, it had a lot of carbs in it, right?
Yeah.
I thought I was doing something good. Third year in at Southeastern, our strength coach goes, "You big fatty, you can't eat peanut M&Ms after a workout." So that was my routine, and it wasn't a good one. What about Mike Jones Jr.? What does Mike Jones do after a lift? Is any routines or anything like that?
Man, I get my protein shake, and usually I immediately go home and take a nap. I be tired. I got to lay it down.
Rest, recovery, repeat, right? Repeat, on all times. Mike, I want to do this, man, because I got to tell you, as somebody that I've gotten to know and you, something happened this past week with your coaching staff and speaking about you that got me pretty emotional. Maybe because there's a connection, but maybe just because of where it's coming from, how, this whole new coaching regime. But your head coach, Brian Kelly, and Brian Polian, the special teams coordinator, recruiting coordinator, had a lot of big things to say about you this week. I'm going to play this short clip for you, Mike. It's about a minute. I want to get your thoughts about this and about the high regards that your head coach and Brian Polian had to say about you.
Well, he's got athleticism, certainly. He's a really good athlete. He's physically strong. Look, we brought in Wes Weeks because we wanted to add some more experience at the position. I think what we felt like we were missing was communication skills, and he does a really good job now of communicating. That position, it's right down the middle. It's the quarterback. It's the center, the middle linebacker. You need a great communicator, and he's taken that and he's run with it. So you need a communicator in the middle of your defense. He's doing that. He has the skill set and he has experience, and so it's been so far it's been a good transition for us with him in the middle.
Trying to figure out who those guys are going to be. Mike Jones has been fantastic. You can expect to see him on the punt team. He'll probably cover kickoffs. Greg Penn's been awesome.
So, Mike, in hearing that, I mean, from your head coach and the number two guy on y'all's coaching staff, when you hear that, what do you think?
Man, it makes me proud. It's been a long time coming,
Boy, ain't that the truth? When you're a fifth year, it feels good to get recognized, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. But it's proud, but also it kind of just sets a standard in my mind. Like I've done a good job now, but like I've been saying, for the goals I have for myself playing my best ball, for the goals I have for a team, I want to win the SC championship. It makes me focus on that standard. Like I can't ever, of course you have your bad days, but if I'm not shooting for this every single day, and trying to get better every single day, then I'm not only doing myself a disservice, I'm doing the whole rest of the defense, I'm doing the whole rest of the team. It just makes me realize, you got a lot of people counting on you, especially being the mic and having to be the one to communicate with others. People lean on you to do your job, and I've done a good job of it right now. But I just got to keep doing better and being consistent.
Mike, what is it? I don't mean this any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But right now you're somewhat of the face of the transition in the Brian Kelly era. Now that comes with a lot of pressure, but you seem like, hey, bro, it's just ball to me. I'm here to play ball. How are you just like mentally? Do you just like, hey, bro, yeah, whatever, I'm here to play ball? Like, how do you go through that? Like, is it just because you have that one goal in mind? Like, hey, man, I want to win a ship. Like, because Mike, this is a long-winded question, but I think it's appropriate here. The only thing that I continue to hear is two words from Brian Kelly and you and the team and everybody: championship mentality. Now, when you hear from a new coaching staff, yeah, championship, but this is LSU. This is a different ball game. You had guys like Urban Meyer who went undefeated at his first year at Ohio State, won a national title his first year at Florida. We've seen this happen before. But Mike, is that the thing there? Is like that's the goal? Because that's all I keep hearing about is championship mentality.
Yeah. That, of course, that's the goal. That's, if I could say, how do you want to end your career, your college career? Of course, I want to win a championship. That's part of the reason I came back too. I wanted to end it off better, But when it just ties in all that things, man, and Tyrann Mathieu was talking about this whenever he spoke, man, I just try to do my job the best as I can. It is so much aspect of just playing ball, but for me, like in my mind, I go into practice, I'm thinking, let's try to have a perfect practice, every day. And if I mess up on something little, I'll be pissed off just because, like, dang, I was doing good. I was practicing well. Dang it. Like now, you know what I'm saying? And so I, like, with all the little mistakes, I every single day when I go into practice, I list things that I'm going to make sure that I do well. Like things that I got to correct from, the last practice. I'm going to emphasize this. I'm going to emphasize communicating when I need to move the front. I'm going to emphasize, my communication with the safeties. It's really just ties in me trying to do my job the best I can. Like I said, I got a lot of people counting on me, and I'm counting on a lot of people. And, if I don't play up to my standard every day, then I just feel like I'm letting a lot of people down. And so I just try to do my job as best as I can all the time.
There's something I want to say, but I want to get it through compliance first. I was going to say, well, let me just say this. Somebody could or could not get Blue Store for the year if we go up to Atlanta and whack somebody's ass. Right? So I'm just going to run that question through compliance. We'll see if it's able to go next week. Mike Jones Jr. is our guest. But I think that you're right, Mike. That's the difference. Now, LSU, the guys had their pro day this week, and Damone Clark was there. God bless him. But he started talking about in his senior year a lot of the same things that you're talking about. Is that just a mentality that maybe you picked up from a guy like him? I mean, I know that you've heard it, you've seen it, you've learned it, but guy that went from an undrafted guy to potentially might be a second-round pick, barring injury. Did you pick that up from guys like Damone and Coach House? Like, where did that mentality start coming up? And you talked about being a 50, or do you feel like it's just more of a maturity thing? Because, look, when we get older, we get more mature. For you, where did that come from?
Man, honestly, I think it came from my dad growing up. As he coached around, like as I grew up, just over time, he would always talk about, the importance of practice. And like I always heard him, but I wasn't really hearing him, And it's definitely been through things like my interactions with Damone's. Like Damone's one of my best friends, And so like we were like here talking for pro day. Like we went upstairs, we met Coach House, I introduced him to Coach House and the staff. And so conversations like that, we bounce off each other all the time, try to get in each other's mind. And so definitely I would say when it comes to maintaining that mindset, that's definitely things like, I've chatted with him about, of course, chatted with Coach House about, chatted with my pops about. Yeah, man, it really just ties into, and which is another thing I've tried to really lock in on, is just having the right people in your ears, because it's easy to get distracted by little things, we got practice tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be a hard practice. It's going to be hot outside. What I'm going to do after, but
the weather's kind of nice.
Oh, it was chill. It was chiller today and yesterday, but
God, Tuesday, dog, is it hot Saturday, boy?
Oh, Saturday was something different. It wasn't different. Saturday was normal Louisiana.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, last Tuesday it was humid. It had rain before practice.
Ooh.
I lost my legs that day.
I heard that. Before we get on the field, because we got to talk on the field. But Pooh Bear from the Golden Boot Podcast, our good friends, says, Mike, Pooh Bear from the Golden Boot Pod here. How is that po' boy? What's next on the menu? Were you able to get a po' boy over the last week?
Yes, I was. I went to Po' Boy USA.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, you did. What did you get? What kind of po' boy?
I got the roast beef po' boy.
You're damn right you did. You're damn right you did. How was the po' boy, Mike?
It was great. I'm mad I didn't know about this whole time.
Bro, you do know that my fat rolls on my body have 401k plans. I'm not going to steer you the wrong way, but that thing's good though, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I had that one, and I had like a catfish po' boy. Catfish, that's one of my favorite food. That's the top 3 favorite food for me. Oh man, I ate that. I was like, wow, I didn't even know you could do this to a sandwich. Like, it was great.
I didn't even know you could do this. No wonder why Louisiana's 50th in obesity. Like, boy, but man, that a po' boy ain't nothing better than a good roast beef po' boy. Mike Jones Jr. Is our guest. Bro, you do know after this interview, I'm going to give me a roast beef po' boy. If I got to wait for 45 minutes, I'm doing it.
After practice tomorrow, I think I'll probably go ahead and get me another one. I need both of them. I need the roast beef and I need the fish one again.
God bless it. I can't believe I wasn't there for that, but you know what? We got to run that through compliance. Never mind. I gotta chill out. All right, Mike, let's get on the field. because all these questions from Blake, shut up about your roast beef po' boys. But Brandon Reese says, hashtag ask Mike, which linebackers and safeties have been pretty at practice so far? Look, Greg Brooks has been a guy, Mike. I know that a lot of people are talking about him. He tweeted this week, best move that he ever made. Let me ask you this. Now, I know that Greg and these guys are from Louisiana, majority of them, but they've never transferred before. Any words of encouragement that you gave these guys since you're the middle backer? And look, he's just been really good this really the whole spring practice, interception every single day. What does guys like Greg Brooks and all those guys look like?
Man, these dudes came in ready to compete at the highest level, which was, I mean, I guess I get it because it's a new staff, like everybody just trying to plug and play pieces and just see what works. But, all them guys came in with a mentality of, I'm trying to play right now. I'm trying to handle my business right now. And, Greg, Joe, the safety.
Yeah, Joe Fouché, right.
Yeah, Joe Fouché, man. All them dudes that came in, man, they came in with a great mentality. And so I didn't really have to say much to them, when we started practicing. They came in ready. When we got on the field, I was like, oh, he been out here before. He been here. I don't even got to tell him. We good. We on the same page already.
Right.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, all great players, man. Like you said, them dudes have been balling for real. It low key surprised me how much these dudes are like around the ball all game, all practice every day. Every day, somebody's making plays on the ball, and so it's really exciting for me, man. And all them dudes, man, you could tell they're veterans because they all communicate so well. Like I love being on the field with them dudes because now, like being the mic, like you gotta communicate everything. You gotta repeat all the calls, just make sure everything's being heard. And when you got veteran guys like all around you, man, it just takes some of the weight off it. Like
right.
The communication's just at like another level because everybody's doing it. It's just at such a, I don't even know the word. Everybody's communicating, and yeah, I didn't really have to say much to them dudes, man. They came in ready. You could see that they're very experienced, and they all competing their tail off.
Now that you are at that Mike linebacker, now we talked about you playing quarterback. Okay, so now this is a good setup. How much of playing quarterback is now easier for you with this, right? Like, we look, Mike. We go out there to practice. I see you. You calling stuff, and is it an easier transition for you coming from quarterback to middle backer?
I think with the communication aspect, I think it definitely is easier than what I would have done if I would not have been playing quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But it still is tough. I think my communication now is harder. It's for sure harder than high school quarterback because I feel like, yeah, but like defense is like so reactive, like it's all based, like a lot of our checks are based on what we getting from the offense. And so like when you're at quarterback, what I'm saying, the play, the motions, this, I'm saying, all this is happening before the snap. Now, if I see something and somebody moves, I might have to move all this over here and tell him, hey, you with us over here. So it definitely has helped. Just naturally like being loud, the quarterback just gotta, like, you can't be just soft tone, soft voice or whatever, so that definitely has played a part into it. But I could definitely say it's definitely a little bit harder than high school quarterback in 2A football in Tennessee.
As Chris Hart says, say it with your chest. You gotta say it with your chest. It's interesting you talk about when there's emotion and calling a guy over here, but he's already doing that. Mike, I've been on a lot of football fields. That's not normal. I'm serious though. Like, hey, this guy's doing this. Your guys are in an install phase, but the pads just went on this week, and there's been some hitting. Some guys really popping out there. Young freshmen out there. Any freshmen? I know even Greg Penn's been out there popping some dudes with all Oblivion and DeMario Tolan, but any freshmen or newcomers standing out to you so far?
Who I would say, of course, DeMario, great player. He has. I look at him and I'm like, yeah, this is a young Mike Jones right here. He's athletic. Yeah, man. He's really athletic. He kind of surprised me how well he moves. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be really good. He's
Demario
really
Tolan.
good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. My boy Quincy, the freak of nature. Quincy the freak. Yeah. He's gonna be really good too, man. It's crazy that he just came out of high school. It doesn't make sense. It's not
Well,
fair.
he looks like he should be fighting the movie 300, right? Like, you know,
Oh, yes, he's a Spartan warrior. Yes. Yes.
oh, right. Ooh. Hey, I mean, here's the Bayou version of Bobby Lashley, you know, from WWE.
Yes. Yes, man. Yeah.
So expand on that a little bit, because that's a hard transition playing in that interior and playing on the defensive line. But him and Will Campbell have been going at it, freshman tackle from
Yeah.
Monroe.
Yeah.
But Mike, I mean, y'all sitting there watching film. What's impressed you so far about Quincy?
Man, it's hard. Like you said, it's not easy to, just jump from a level of competition like that. But man, just to see like he's playing at a high level, man. He's physically gifted, so gifted, strong, super strong, you know what I'm saying, just really holding his own. And I know that's hard, you know what I'm saying? Because I when I came in fresh, and I had some guys that came in with me, and it's tough, man. You're playing against 22, 23-year-olds, 20-year-old, and you might be 17. And so just holding your own, is a big thing, especially on the line.
He should be at prom, right? Like
literally.
Like it is this weekend. Like prom for most. I'm serious. Prom is tomorrow. My wife, you've met Megan, but my wife, I mean, she does makeup, and she's doing makeup for proms this weekend.
Wow.
That dude should be going to prom this weekend.
Yeah, man.
How do you walk up to Brian Kelly and say, "Hey, coach, can I miss practice Saturday? I got prom."
Especially if you his size too. I would say it wasn't prom 5 years ago for you, grown man.
I mean, look, he's about to file retirement. I mean, Quincy Wiggins, right? I mean, let's not get that twisted. Mike Jones Jr. is our guest. Look, Mike, it's interesting since you've been coming on here and what NIL and everything has been doing to getting access to players and this team. And do you feel that there's more of a connection between you and the team and the players with fans since all of this? I mean, I know that it's kind of a tougher question, but look, it's literally the number one question I get every night, right? It's like, hey, man, I never have experienced something like this. For you, do you feel that way, because of all the rule changes and everything that's going on? Do you feel more of a connection to the fans than you have before?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, man, the real big reason for that is this show. I get the questions from the fans. You constantly telling me things. People say, man, I haven't been able to have them interactions until now.
Right.
And if you think about like college football and college sports, when has anybody ever had a chance to do this for real? And so like I feel like I get to hear exactly from the fans. You get a question, you tell me the question, I can answer it straight from them. They can find out exactly what they want. And so yeah, I definitely feel like it's closer, man. And I'm proud of, I'm glad, like I enjoy doing this show every week, because now like I feel like I'm like actually really involved in the community. And that's something that's important to me. I enjoy it. I like LSU. Like I'm not here just to play football. I like where I'm at. I love Baton Rouge, and so being able to do this, man, it's been a blessing for me. I have a great time every time I'm on the show.
The reason I ask you is for this question right here, right? Because the Golden Boot Pod says hashtag Ask Mike. Outside of football, what has been your favorite LSU moment thus far? And that's the thing that I was talking about. Like I read that question from them, and I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, man, how would you ever get this question out to anybody? Like, do you tweet it? Like, hey, guys, I just ate a roast beef po' boy, and then you got Coach Flynn on your butt, but seriously, I mean, I think it's so good. But let's answer that question. What has been your favorite moment outside of football in Louisiana so far? Outside of eating very good steaks one weekend, what's been your favorite moment?
Mardi Gras.
Okay. Was that your first experience during Mardi Gras?
Yeah, man. I love Mardi Gras. 100%.
I got to be honest. I have no energy to do it anymore, but I've been doing it for 29 straight years,
Yeah.
So it's like, everybody's like, Rick, you coming to Mardi Gras? And I'm like, what? To pay money to go get drunk and stay on the street and get drunk? Like, but what for you, though? What for you, though, was fun? What was the funnest moment about your first experience from Mardi Gras?
It was just so it was so much, man. Like the parade. I just had no idea this was what they were. It was like a party in the street. It was crazy. Every parade. I went on bourbon a couple times, and I have my cousin with me. And my cousin, he's like my age, and he's never done a Mardi Gras either. And he's like one of my best friends. And so we were just like, this is crazy. Like we were just taking it all in the whole time. And we were like only supposed to go, like we were only gonna go like one day. And we ended up going like 4 days straight.
Hey, it'll do it to you.
Yeah, man.
That's funny. Mike Jones is our guest. Let's get to I'm not going to ask this question. I'm not going to put it up there. But again, it's just a lot of the same questions. So I ask it like this. Mike, what's the biggest difference from last year to this year? We've answered this ad nauseum. I guess I could rephrase it like this. Maybe from a defensive standpoint, is there just a lot more communication for you from last year's team to this year? From how you set up the defense, is it more of a communication-related system?
Yeah, I would say, especially for myself, playing the mic, the communication, it's almost on a level I haven't seen. I know everybody knows Skowski from Clemson. He was a great communicator.
Oh, Necro.
Yeah.
He's been there since 1982. Anyway.
But yeah, my dog Skowski, he was a great communicator, and I was playing nickel, like Sam Nickel, so I didn't have to communicate as much. But, I even look at the end and I'm like, dog, like I'm talking like from the second I get the call, almost to the second the ball is hyped. And I'm like, I don't know if I've been around or been on a team where like you have to communicate this much, and so I would probably say that's a difference. But I just feel like it's just made like my game, and I feel like it makes the game of those around me even better because like when you're communicating like that, it just makes things easier. Everybody knows the same thing. It's not I'm seeing this, we're seeing this. No, it's we this call right here. Oh, and this guy, you see, they are crossing each other. They about to swap, and they gonna run the zone over here. And that's just like becoming the standard. And so I would definitely say just the communication, it's taking my game to another level. Now I know that is the expectation, and I think also just as a defense, it has just kind of rallied us together. And so we lean on each other a lot because we have to communicate so much.
Right. And that I think that's the biggest difference from last year's defense, obviously, to this one.
Yeah.
It's been funny because a lot of people have been talking about this defensive line for you guys. Now you got some studs up there, man. Mason Smith, Jaquelin Roy. I said it this week, just getting my eyeballs on him, Mike. Jacoby and Guillory, the nose. Bro, Mike, did you know that man squatted over 600 pounds in high school?
Yes, he has told me this multiple times while we were lifting in the weight room.
All right, so what's that conversation like? Hey, Mike, is Jacoby the guy that walks up in the locker room like, hey, man, I squat over 600 pounds. Is that him?
It's like that, but it's a little bit different. You can have a lot of weight on, and it'd be like, oh, that's not heavy. That's not heavy. Then you go see what he's doing. And when he destroys his weight, he's like, oh, yeah, I did 600 in high school. Like, that's not nothing. He's the one that just got to make it look weak.
When you see something like that, I mean, you're in amazement. You got to be in amazement, right? I mean, like, this dude's like probably pre-repping. His first rep on squat is 315 to warm up. Like that's not normal.
No, heck no. When I see that, all I see is a double team being held up and I get to run free and make a play. That's what I dream of when I see that.
Okay. So let's go. So when you see, are you kind of over there encouraging him like, yes, Jacobian, lower Jacobian, get more Jacobian?
I'm over there clapping. I'm hyping everybody up. I'm screaming, yelling, get him. I'm yelling at the waist like it's somebody he trying to fight.
You're the ultimate hype man. And you know what that reminds me of? It's like Loki from the MCU. You know, he's always provoking Thor to do stuff to kick somebody's butt for him, you know?
Yeah.
But it's translated for him on the field. You know, look, I played center. I would never want to go up against that man. You know, there's a guy, hold on. I have his playing card because people keep sending this crap to me. Hold on. Let me find him. I went up a guy by the name of Fletcher Cox, who broke me off a little something nice. But when you see something like that, though, Mike, I mean, it's translating for him on the field, right? What you saw in the weight room last year is starting to translate for him on the field this year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. And our whole defensive line is doing a great job, man. The whole defensive line. They're so strong, man. I'm not gonna lie. They make my job a lot easier. You know, I get to run, and they eat up them blocks, man. They eat them up. They're so strong, and so I always try to gas them up whenever they doing something, because the better they play, the better I play. That's at least in my mind. The easier it is for me to do my job, the better they play.
That's true. All right, I got one last question for you. We've been in here 35 minutes. Okay, but it's probably the most important question of all of it, and it's very serious. It's going to be heartfelt. Mike, how long do you sit in front of the mirror every week and practice your celebrations? You know, like if you catch a pick, you know, like this was me. Yeet, yeet, yeet. Are you a common celebrator? Do you like, you know, water boy, like slap hands? Or are you like hitting the gritty like you're Jamar Chase in the AFC title game? Like what is Mike Jones when he hits the celebration?
Dude, like it really just depends where my mind's at, man. Like sometimes I'll have something planned and it won't even be anything cool. It'll just be like, let me do this just so I can say that I did this. And then I'll get on the field and I'll make a play and I don't remember it. I just go crazy. I go crazy. That's usually how it is, man.
You know,
but I got something.
Oh, okay. Can we do something AYS related? Can we come up with like a sign, you know, so I know that you're thinking about me when you demolish somebody from Bama, you know, like, can we do that? You know, like
a YMCA,
yes. AYS, you know, like, can we do that? You know, that'd be funny. But no, I mean, do you think that these guys in the NFL, like, they got to be like practicing this, like
they practice.
They got to, right?
Practice.
Do you know how next level narcissistic some of that's got to be? Like, you know, like like Carmelo Anthony running down, getting the ice in the veins thing. You know, like it's got to be some. I ain't gonna lie though. So, Mike, I got to tell you, I told the listeners this week. In my high school football career, I'm 1 for 1 in passes, 6 yards for a touchdown, spider 2 wide banana. So let me just say this: it's probably the best quarterback since Tom Brady ever to live on planet Earth. I was practicing for a week when they put that in the package. Let me just say this though. It was in a dream that I had. It never really happened. So the play's real, but it never was fun. But I was ready for it. But I practiced. That's the next level narcissistic I had. You know, I was like, do I do, chicken noodle soup? The Dougie was the thing when I was in high school, you know?
Yeah.
But I was never able to hit it. I was never able to hit it. It was so depressing.
Arkansas game, there was like a little TikTok dance going around, and Damone got a sack, and he wasn't even talking to me about it, but we were like, I don't know if it was in the locker room or maybe during practice throughout the week. He was like, yeah, when I make a play, I'm gonna do that dance. And he like makes a sack, and I'm like celebrating, I'm like screaming and stuff. And he taps me, and I'm like, Oh yeah, the dance. And I like do the dance.
Hey. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Hey, he was trying to hit you when you sacked Bryce Young last year, but you ran off the field so fast in excitement. See, you think I didn't realize that, did you? You ran off, and then you're like so pumped up, and then DeMond walks up to you. I see we got the camera footage. I mean, I got it right here, and he's like, "Hey, man, I was trying to dance on the field." And you're like, like, bro, I mean, this ain't the Rocky IV movie,
Dude, I'm so mad I let that one get away from me. That could have been a really cool celebration. I could have had a cool picture out of it. I just ran. I got up and ran. I don't even know why do that? Why not just enjoy the moment?
Yeah. But you know what's so sad? I want to ask you this because I wanted to ask you about Bobby Wagner going to the Rams. So let's end it there. I lied.
Yeah.
Like even them getting penalized, like you'll do something so small and then you'll get penalized for it. Like, like slap hands, like the water boy, and then you'll get flagged for it. So sometimes you got to be careful. Your favorite guy, Bobby Wagner, going to the Rams. Good googly boogly, man. I mean, like, come on. This isn't fair anymore, right? Like, they're going to – that defense is going to be the best in the league, bro.
Yep. I honestly – I don't know. I mean, what can you do about that? What can you do? The only person you can really blame is low-key Seattle. They let him go. And they gave him to the worst person they could have gave him to.
I don't know. I don't know who, how they keep doing it. Like at some point you got to run out of money, right?
At some point. I don't know either. I don't know.
I just got to tell you, Mike, when I play Madden, I turn the salary cap off. So let me just tell you my because you're not in the game yet, but you'll be on the game. I have every LSU player on the Cincinnati Bengals right now. Joe Burrow's thrown for 7,000 yards, but that's a fantasy game, like how the Rams keep doing it. I have no idea.
No idea. It's not fair.
Hey, let me ask you this. Last one I lied twice. You gonna play with yourself? You would play with yourself on Madden, wouldn't you? Because I know good and damn well I would.
This has been a dream of mine since probably like 4, 5 years old. I've been creating players on video games for years. For the first time, I'm ready to just go and play with Mike Jones.
Hey, but see, here's the question: Do you make your attributes better? Right.
I didn't even have to answer that. I knew I'm 99 overall,
bro. So my running back for the New Orleans Saints was 6'4", 285 pounds. Me, okay. I ran for 7,000 yards in a season. Just throw that out there. So look, I after the Saints got beat in the playoffs, I took it out on everybody. I took it out on everybody. So
no more Kamara.
No. Kamar got cut. Or he was second string. He was poo. He was trash. He went from 99 overall to 79. I mean, Kamar ain't got nothing on this. All right, we got Mike Jones. Mike Jones Jr. joining us. My brother, it's been fantastic. It's been awesome. You've been awesome. We'll see you tomorrow. LSU practice going to be a big day. Some more full pads. So we'll update with you next week, and we'll see how it goes. Guys, we got the LSU baseball game coming up, 7 o'clock, so be there. And it's going to be a fun night. Until then, guys, we'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, Girl Scouts.